Let's talk about Amazon reviews. Amazon is rolling out a generative AI feature that will summarize product reviews. This comes from AP News. It says the feature, which the company began testing earlier this year, is designed to help shoppers determine at a glance what other customers said about a product before they spend time reading through possibly thousands of individual reviews.
Right.
It will pick out common themes and summarize them in a short paragraph on the product detail page. The company wrote in a blog post published Monday that the AI-generated reviews are now available to a subset of mobile shoppers in the U.S. across a broad selection of products, and it may be expanded to more shoppers and additional categories of products in the coming months. Based on customer feedback. Amazon Director of Community Shopping, Von Schermerhorn, this has said all of this. The Seattle-based company has been looking for ways to integrate more artificial intelligence into its product offerings as generative AI race heats up among tech companies. I'm all for this, right?
Yeah, I just... sometimes the translating doesn't go well, and so I'm curious if it's gonna like, what if someone says, this was not good, and all it's saying is good. It's like summarizing the wrong thing,
One reviewer said, "quote unquote good" in their review.
Just making sure your robot actually knows how to read and do it, because sometimes you'll get those replies, those suggested replies to someone's question, and it's like not even close. It's like that's not what that reply doesn't make sense to this statement. So I would just be like doubting.
Yeah,
I would want to read the real thing.
Right. Like, well, like I would believe it if it said people hated this product. But if people love the product, then I'd be like, well, let me double check and read all this.
Right.
Like one user said, I haven't tried it yet.
What if they say, I hate to let this go. It's my favorite thing.
There's so many reviews that are like, haven't opened it or tried it yet, but we'll see. Like, why are you reviewing now? You review when you've done the product, you use the product.
Yeah.
You don't review beforehand. If it's asking you and you haven't done it yet, you say maybe later. You don't say, okay, I guess I have to do it now.
Yeah.
What's your problem? But the one thing that I would need from this is I would need them to be able to tell the difference between real and fake reviews.
Ooh.
Because fake reviews have been on the rise on Amazon lately.
Yeah.
I watched a whole video about how the guy actually figured out how they're doing it. And it's like there are companies in other countries or whatever that actually like buy a product from the company or the product and then ship it somewhere else. And they're able to use that one purchase, which they ship it to like a random person. They're able to use that purchase and verify their review somehow, like they have some backdoor way, but they have to make at least a purchase. And then they can sneak in like 100 reviews from a bunch of different accounts that they have, and they'll all come up as
from that
verified.
one verified purchase.
Yeah. So
that's terrifying.
They got to close that loophole.
Yeah.
Or fix the fake reviews or be able to tell them apart. But I'm for it. I'm for the idea. It's just if they can execute it well. Ukulele for Worship says there are some products that send a card in the box telling you to send them a screenshot of your review to receive cash back via PayPal or something. If you report them to Amazon customer service, they will take down the seller. Interesting.
Yeah, they're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to. They're allowed to say, leave us a review. They're not allowed to say, leave us a 5-star review. They're definitely not allowed to say, leave us a review and we'll give you money back. A good review and we'll leave you money back. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's supposed to be unbiased.
It is. Let's talk about Nielsen ratings.
You're not allowed to do those anymore, right? Are those the things that are between the ages of 18 and 35?
Oh, look at you. Hitting me right in the heart. I don't think they'll send them to me anymore. television accounts for less than half of the U.S. viewing time for the first time ever. Powered by shows like Suits on Netflix, streaming share of U.S. viewing time grew to a new high in July, while television viewing fell below 50% for the first time, according to Nielsen data. Wow. So this is from the Wall Street Journal. It says the milestone is the latest sign of the rapid erosion of cable TV bundling, which has lost about a quarter of its subscribers over the past decade, as more Americans cut the cord in favor of streaming services like Netflix, Google's YouTube, and Disney's Hulu. Cable television accounted for 29.6% of total U.S. viewing time in July, while broadcasts attracted 20%, Nielsen said in the release published Tuesday. Streaming services, meanwhile, captured 38.7% of America's viewing time, while a category labeled Other, which Nielsen says includes usage such as DVD playback and gaming, accounts for the remaining 11.6%. The growth of streaming platforms at the expense of cable and broadcast TV networks has accelerated in recent years as most entertainment conglomerates introduce their own direct-to-consumer services to take it on industry leader Netflix. As they sought to rapidly grow their subscriber bases, many of them chose to make their highest profile and costliest content available exclusively on streaming. While original content helps reel in subscribers and build streaming brands, the most watched programs are sometimes older TV shows. Last month, the show Americans spent most time watching was Suits, a legal drama starring Meghan Markle made for cable TV that made its debut about more than a decade ago. This is kind of what we talked about when we were talking about the writer's strike last week. One of the things I got against them is a lot of people are just watching nostalgic stuff,
right?
Stuff that they've already watched or stuff that came out a long time ago that they never got a chance to watch. Or like I didn't start watching Breaking Bad until it was in its last season, just because it was on Netflix. Like we're like, oh, okay, I'll give it a try, and then that's how I got into it. I didn't see it on AMC.
Right.
I didn't watch it on TV.
Right.
That's how most people are watching their stuff.
Yep. Do you remember back in the good old days when we were watching The Office and Smallville live, and if both of us were working, we'd set our little recording VHS.
We went and bought a VCR. I didn't even remember what they were called. A VCR from like a Savers thrift store thing where people bring in their junk and sell it there. So we could record it like old timey people.
Yep. Because we weren't paying for cable and recording all that.
That's when like TiVos and stuff were popular for recording.
But we'd be poor. We didn't have.
We were poor newlyweds living in a teeny tiny apartment in a town far away from our parents. Yeah, that was Smallville. We've been waiting for the season to be over and then buying the DVDs. And it was like the last season, season 10, you were like, I really want to watch it along with the world. Can we please just watch it as it comes? And so I think we were almost always working. Like we always had to tape it, I feel like.
I worked retail, so that meant night.
Yeah. But and I worked in a restaurant, so I also work nights. But we did a few of those Nielsen rating. Well, I did a few of those Nielsen rating things several years ago. I think the last one I did was just after we moved into our current house, and it was empty. Like you're supposed to track what channels you watch and when for how long, and then. Like at the bottom, it has, if you didn't watch any TV show, but you watched streaming services or whatever, just check this box. But it didn't give you like a time. It's just like, check this. And so like my whole planner thing was completely empty and I mailed it back. It's just all streaming.
Wow. And that's probably why it was the last one you got, right? Because they're like,
okay, well,
we lost this guy.
This guy doesn't watch TV anymore. Hey, I made $10, so let's talk about online subscriptions. Not necessarily Netflix, but things of that nature. Forgetting to cancel subscriptions boosts businesses' revenue by 200%.
I could see that.
Subscription-based models dominate daily life, and businesses profit from forgetting subscription payments. The problem of forgotten subscriptions is so large that there's now a robust ecosystem of startups promising to save users money by ferreting out and canceling the subscriptions they forgot about. This comes from Fortune.com. Researchers have put a number of put a number on the high value of customer inertia. Buyers' inattention can boost a business's revenue as much as 200%, according to a new working paper from researchers at Stanford and Texas A&M, submitted to the National Bureau of Economic Research. I knew that people forgot to cancel, said co-author Neil Mahoney, an economics professor at Stanford. The magnitude, the pervasiveness of the issue was surprising. Mahoney, along with a few Stanford economics professors, this looks like a Star Trek name, Liran Elnav and Benjamin Klopak, an assistant professor of economics at Texas A&M, calculated the cost, or to companies the benefit, the inattention by zeroing in on specific moments in purchasers' lives, replacing a credit card. Using a large data set from undisclosed payment system provider, the researchers first identified 10 common subscription services and then looked at how frequently they were renewed during the normal times and when the subscriber replaced a card, forcing them to update their payment information with each service. Renewals sharply dropped off after these card replacements, even as other shopping behaviors, such as buying groceries and gas, continued normally, leading them to the conclusion when people had to actively decide to resubscribe to a service and enter new payment information, many opted out. So it's saying that this was proving that people were paying for this for a while without realizing it until they're like, oh, my card's expired. Well, I'm not re-upping that, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's human nature.
Yeah.
We were doing our budget. Yeah, we were doing our budget, and over the years when things were tight, but I was starting a new subscription as something that we needed either for work or for just fun. Half the time I would put it on our credit card because I'm like, even if we run out of money when that bill comes in, which I'm not great at keeping track of when they're going to come in, I know it's not going to, put us in the red in our bank account because it's going to go to the credit card. Now we've gotten to the point where we're pretty good with money in our bank account and we're trying to get rid of all of our debt. And every month since we've started trying the last couple months to pay it all the way down, it's still kind of going up. Like we pay it down a little bit and then it kind of goes back up. And we're like, what the heck's going on? So I had to go in there and look for every single subscription that I could find and either move it or cancel it. And we wound up canceling about half of them, going like, it wasn't so much stuff that I forgot about, but it's just like stuff that I hadn't thought about.
Right. Do I need this?
Yeah.
Am I using this?
Do we need to be paying this every month?
If I canceled it, would I even notice?
Right. Exactly that. And so like it's human nature. It's the same thing. It's the gift card mindset. And that's how companies are making money too. Gift cards have always made more money than we get to utilize as people because people almost never use the whole gift card, and a lot more people than you think never use the gift card, but they already got your money.
Or you gave them money for the gift card for $20 and you gave it to the person. That person may have never wanted to shop at that store, but now they've got $20, but they go in and they find something for $50. So now they've gotten your 20 and they're 30. So I understand.
Yeah, that's a big pull too.
And I appreciate that they never expire.
Some do.
Oh, okay.
Most of them don't, but some do.
Yeah, most retail stores, at least.
Yeah. And you can tell that that's working for them because there are a lot of these retailers and companies or restaurants or whatever that usually around Christmas time will be like, hey, come buy a $20 gift card or a $30 gift card, and we'll give you a $10 gift card for free for you to keep. They're eating $10 on every single one of those sales, and they're still going to be making money off of it. Right. And so that tells you just how good those are running. So, yeah, subscription services are
I am just
everywhere now, too.
horrified by the amount of money I let go to the gym.
We even got the good one, the good gym that you could kind of cancel at any time.
I mean, it had to be like a year of not going to the gym. And I was like, okay, fine. Admit it to yourself.
Don't you love going to the gym?
You're never going to go.
Month?
And you've been paying them for 12 months to not go. And now you feel guilty and you didn't go to the gym. So just cancel it.
We've done that twice. The first time, though, was like that traditional gym thing where like you have to pay for a year.
Oh, yeah.
Like you could not get out of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, well.
Big commitment.
So glad that we went. It's an aspirational subscription. Grafen.
You're just like, yeah, I have a gym membership.
Oh, gosh. Felt so good those few times that we went. And then it's like, you know what? Nah.
Yeah. I went faithfully before I had kids, but now I'm like.
You went faithfully for a little while, but it wasn't like a year.
No, when we were in Albuquerque.
Yeah. Yeah. We did that a little while. Still wasn't very long.
Because we moved.
That's what I'm saying. What do you want from me here? Tell the truth.